Recently, in the free software community, in response to the systemd GNOME 3 GTK3 takeover of Debian, there has been talk, mullings, rumblings of a fork of Debian, specifically Debian 7, the Wheezy release. Once in a while, there's a convergence of multiple factors that produce something great. Some time ago, not very long ago, there was a will within the Debian community to package as much software, free or otherwise, for the Debian Linux system. During this time, as a first among unequals, the idea of a Unix-like OS held sway. That time is over. Linus himself has denigrated the Unix ideals, spat upon them. He has championed, in a subtle way, the cause of systemd, of his, you might say, employer, Red Hat. See, Linus, most of his money is in the form of Red Hat stock, which he received at the beginning of the corporate uptake of Linux, the triumph of the open source movement. So, even if he is not directly employed by Red Hat, he is more or less an agent of theirs, because it is in his best interest to champion and put forth their ideas to keep the stock price high. Now, as long as we're reciting paymasters, it is well known that the majority of large contracts that Red Hat acquires are from the US government. So just follow that chain, and you'll see where systemd comes into this. Perhaps it was requested by the contracts which Red Hat is party to. There you go. But this convergence has created Debian 7, the Wheezy release, and that is truly a great release. It's a golden spot. It is at the end of the Unix era of Linux. Another issue is that in recent times, the last few years, regression has occurred in many of the user-level applications. For instance, one person pointed out that in one of the audio applications, in a new version, support for his keyboard was stripped. That was not a accident. It's not a bug. It was a decision. It's in the change logs, he said. And things like this have been happening in many applications. Regression. And I've seen it myself as well in one of the projects I forked. After a time, the main developer kind of went on, and another developer came in, and eventually he got tired of the direction of the project, and he took it over and completely changed it. So at that time I forked, and my fork was doing pretty well. And you know, that is how things are supposed to happen in the free software community. I've noticed recently that there really is a lack of will to fork projects. I mean, when I joined, I would maybe you might say the Linux community, when I started programming on Linux, things were being forked left and right. And the idea wasn't to obtain success. It was to scratch your own itch, to create for yourself what you desired, and then to share that. And if other people also had the same desire as you, good chance, then they would benefit from it. That will has, in large part, died. People say, it would be too hard to maintain a fork, really, of anything. The key in forking is that you do not try to keep up with the Joneses. You focus your fork on what you are trying to achieve, and you ignore the parent project. Another question that's come to some people's mind is why? Why is regression occurring? Why is GTK3, for instance, so much less than what GTK2 was and is? Why is GTK3 in a way being forced from the top down upon all of us in the same manner as System D is? One answer might be because people are not paid only to create things. People also are paid to destroy things. The free software movement was created specifically to destroy the proprietary software industry, as well as to give the user control of the software and the user control of his machine. There is a possibility that various projects in the open source community have been infiltrated in order to subvert them. Now this might be a conspiracy theory, but remember, every company is a conspiracy. It's in a conspiracy to make money, and if it is a corporation, it's in a conspiracy to expand shareholder value by law. So what you've been seeing in the last few years, maybe 2, maybe 3, with paid developers, with corporate directorship over open source projects and some free software projects, it could be a successful attempt to infiltrate, subvert, and destroy. You see, right now, in the open source and free software community, there is a situation that still exists, that existed for Windows in the previous century. There is a program, a free program, in every sense of the word, to do pretty much anything you might want to do.